All right, Shalom. Before I get started, I want to give all the glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwarash. Double honors to my apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and safety to all the sincere Akim, the Sahib pushing this word in truth and in all sincerity. All right, Shalom. All right, so I just want to do this lesson based upon this picture that you're seeing on the screen, um, which looks like an hourglass. You know, like where time is told to, but the sand, and the sand falls through the middle, and ends up on the other side. You know, and in this picture, it shows a baby um, going through the center and doing what? Becoming an older individual, an aged individual, and when I saw this picture, you know, of course, everybody, and when I saw it on social media, they had their own little simpleton philosophy ways of analyzing shit. But you know, the true way of looking at something like this is, no matter how old, how fast you want to grow up, you can't speed up time. You aren't in control of time like that. And that applies in the spirit of things too. You have a real heavy spirit. It's always, I mean, it's not new to Israel. You know, it's new to you if you're new to Israel. You know, but I've seen these. You know, you see these characters from time to time, and all it does and all it should do is boost your fear through humility to plead that the Lord put that same plead that He put not that same spirit on you. You know, that spirit of rebellion, not being thankful to parents, disobedient to parents. You know, that spirit, because you have a lot of Jake that just want to fast forward. They want to be microwave elders. You know, microwave. 15 seconds in the microwave pop. High priest. You know, they want to be all these things instantly, you know, like instant coffee, instant grits, you know, and you see what happens when you, instead of dealing with the process, you try to speed it up. What happens? You know, look at you even just from the sake of food, since we touched on that, right? Look at the food that we eat nowadays. The food is more instant. All right. It's quicker to cook, quicker to serve, quicker to eat, less nutrition to it. Less taste to it. The effects of it, you know. Same thing with the women. You know, our women of ancient times, they didn't have stick it in the microwave. They didn't have instant rice and instant grits and instant oatmeal and things of that nature. And look at our women now. That's all they know how to cook, and they can't cook for shit. All right, that's not the way of life. The way of life is to take your time. Same thing with wine. All right, and, you know, I remember Apostle Gabar, spoke on this years ago about you can't rush finding aging wine. No matter what you do, you cannot fake 5 years of aging to 20 years of age bottle. It's just that serious. And wine, if you don't know, you know, is a living organism. That's why when these people that have the money that have a cellar, you have two types of cellars that people will do. You have the ancient type of cellar, which is typically in a dark space, dark, cool. A lot of historical type houses would have, like, you know, underneath the side of the house, that would be like the wine cellar, and they would call it a cellar, and they would put wine down there, you know. And then you have the more recent version, the artificial version, which is the refrigerated aspect, you know, where you create the humidity point, you create the temperature, you create those things in an environment to mimic that. But nevertheless, you have to do that. If your wine reaches above a certain age, you kill it. That's just the truth of it. So again, stop trying to artificially age yourself in the spirit and just age properly. All right? If you are a 2-year-old in the spirit, be happy that you are a 2-year-old in the spirit. If you are a 5-year-old in the spirit, be happy. All right? If you're 10, be happy. All right? Do not follow the ways of these rebellious, false teachers, man. They want to HOV to the elder lane. All right? So I got a few scriptures I want to go into. Make this real quick, and I'm gonna close up. The first one I want to go to is, let's go to the book of Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus 11 and 20. All right, and it reads, "Be steadfast in thy covenant, and be conversant therein, and wax old in thy work." All right, wax old. You want to grow old in your work, and in our case, we want to grow old in our spiritual works, the spiritual ministry, the maintaining the Lord's flock spiritually. That's what you want to grow old in. You don't want to, like I saw this other quote the other day that stated basically, if you want to do it fast, do it alone. But if you want to do it long, do it together. And that's this. This thing is not a marathon. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. This is a cross country race. Like that old show Cannonball. I think Cannonball 5000. Traveling from Seattle to Miami with car issues and eating and sleeping and aches and pains across the way. This isn't a drag strip, man. 100-yard strip, 100-yard whatever the strip is for drag racing, man. This ain't that, okay? So you want to grow old in your work, in all your works, every work you want to grow old in. The scriptures speak against a man that is subject to change. Avoid them that are given to change, okay? Because why? You don't want to deal with a guy that's like, okay, 1 second he wants to be, like that I forget her name off of the Cosby Show. All right, I forget her name. The one that got that married Lenny Kravitz. I forget her name. Matter of fact, let me look her name up right quick. I know she was on the Cosby's. Let's see, Cosby Show cast. Oh, Lisa Bonet. And if you remember on the Cosby Show, yeah, Denise Huxtable. If you remember on the show, 1 minute she wanted to be this, 1 minute she wanted to be that, the next minute she wanted to be this. That ain't how you supposed to be, man. If you a carpenter, be a carpenter. If you a physician, be a physician. You can't just decide one day, here it is, you've been trained up to be a physician and now all of a sudden you want to flip the script and be a goddamn you want to fry chicken, man. No, the community needs you to be the physician, man. All right, you don't let your works go to waste. And that's what the scriptures compare to somebody that falls out of this truth, a dog that turns back to his vomit. Like, bro, you couldn't stick to your work. You just gave up to go do what? To be a rapper? All right. Let's get another scripture. Let's go to Hebrews. This is Hebrews 5. Hebrews 5 and 12. All right. And it reads, For the time ye ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracles of the Most High, and are become such as have need of milk and not of strong meat. All right, bro, if you're on the milk, be on the milk. Never get away from the milk. As the elders in Chicago perfectly put it, milk ain't nothing but chopped up meat. It's still like vegans don't drink cow's milk or goat's milk. They don't drink that because of why? It comes from meat. All right, so milk is still meat. All right, so don't be ashamed. Get the basic breakdowns. Understand what the hell doctrine. Understand the breakdown of John the 4th chapter. Understand the breakdown of the prophecies. World War One, World War Two. Understand these prophecies. These breakdowns. You know, that's where your life, your roots are. Your roots are in the history. You know, I remember when Apostle Rumlop came down here and he was quizzing us. You know, the men want to show their range of pulling precepts, but then when you ask men, what is Abraham in Hebrew? It's a tongue twister. Or what does Abraham mean? Isaac. What does Isaac mean? How do you say Isaac in Hebrew? What was, little basic questions. The history. That's where your roots are. You're rooted. Even Jake in the world say that. They'll say, yeah, I'm just trying to find my roots. What do they mean when they say that? They're digging deep into their family tree. Yeah, that's that's your great grandmother right there, your grandfather. He fought in the war or he was a slave. That's your roots. All right. So you got to get rooted in your history, rooted in the doctrine. That's the milk. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob and Esau, the 12 tribes. That's our line. That's our lineage right there. That's needed information. But then you have Jake. Nah, the hell with that. Go straight to 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter. Or you want to go, here it is, or you have younger men. And I'm a young man. I'm talking to fellow. The scriptures say, and treat your elders as fathers, and the younger men as brethren. So I'm another brethren. I'm not no elder. So again, this is just brotherly, expressing to brothers. You gotta be rooted in. That's where men go weak at. Men want to go. Here it is. Men want to rebuke, but don't understand the doctrine themselves. Why are you rebuking? Do you understand what's the purpose of a rebuke? Do you understand the proper steps of how to rebuke? These are all. Do you understand how to take rebuke? There's a lot to the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai than just simply being a Rolodex of precepts, man. That doesn't make you an aged man in this. That doesn't make you an elder. That doesn't make you a wise man. That does not make you wise because you know a lot of scriptures. That doesn't. That's the furthest thing from the truth. What makes the elders and the apostles so wise is the fact that they've withstand the times and grown in the spirit, which you can't force. They took it cheerfully. They went through the proper channels to show us, hey, you know what? If you do what I did, you could put in 30 years too. That's what it's about. All right, watching the elders that age properly, so you can do the same thing. All right. Verse 13 says, "For everyone that useth milk is unskillful in the word of righteousness, for he is a babe." All right, a novice. It's okay. It's okay. Everything you do in life, you start. You have a day one. Everything is a day one. All right. When you have a child, when you have a son or a daughter, you can read all the books you want to read. People can give you encouraging words. People can sit you down and talk with you, give you stories. But nevertheless, you have a day one, and that's the day that your child comes out the womb. And from there on, it's, okay, this is day one of me being a parent. Okay, day two, year. I made a year through it. You can't force that. And the same thing as you. You start out as a babe. All right? You have a starting point. Everybody had a starting point in everything. Floyd Mayweather had a starting point where he had to learn the basics. Michael Jordan, starting point, basics. All right? Your favorite producer, Kanye West, DJ Premier, Manny Fresh, whoever you want to name. I'm just naming producers. Okay? Fucking Babyface, whoever. All right? Somebody had to sit them down with the equipment and show them, okay, this is the drums, the snares, this is it. Everybody got a starting point, but Jake getting the truth and think that they're excluded from that. Okay? I'm going to go from there and I'm going to close up here. All right. We'll go to the next one. 1 Peter 5 and 1. And it says, the elders which among you I exhort, who am also an elder and a witness of the sufferings of Mashiach Yahushua, and also a partaker of the glory that shall be revealed. And that's giving reverence to your elders. Understand that your elders and the men that's been fighting while you were still in the world, still in that dark state of mind, these men were standing bold for your Mashiach Yahushua. All right. And that's not just, and that goes all the way from the top on down. Your apostles and elders, like, I've said this before, but while not even, outside of just Apostle Tahar, there are other elders and the apostles. While they were coming in the 90s, bro, I started kindergarten in like 90, 91. I'm 32 years old. Like, when they were fighting in the truth or getting prepared for the truth in the early 90s, I was starting school. I was a 5-6-year-old. That's something to revere. They've been partakers of witnesses of the suffering of Mashiach Yahushua that long. But I'm gonna buck up against that. Unthankful children, man. Unthankful to parents, man. Verse 2, feed the flock of the Most High which is among you. Take the oversight thereof, not by constraint, but willingly, not for filthy lucre, but of a ready mind. And this is what it means to be an elder. To feed, you got to feed the flock. A lot of you want to, it's a lot that comes with leading men. Leading men it's not fun. As it's not meant to be fun. That's where men get tripped up in this thing. This thing wasn't created for you to have fun in. This is a ministry. This is work. This is a work. All right? And part of the ministry is feeding the flock. When the Spirit bless you with knowledge, more knowledge than other men, so to speak, where men come to you for questions and answers, you have to be ready to give an answer. That might be, some days, it might be 5-6 different men hitting you up individually. It might be 3 men underneath you in the spirit hitting you up. Hey, bro. Hey, Shalom. Hey, what's the scripture for this? Oh, what does this mean? Oh, what does that mean? Then you got the men above you in the spirit. They questioning you. Yo, I need you to do this. I need you to do that. The path to climb is not a fun path in this thing. It's work. You have something that is needed. And it's only going to, and as you grow in the spirit, it's only going to be more needed. All right. Says, but be of a ready mind. Verse 3, neither as being lords over the Most High's heritage, but being examples to the flock. All right. So that's another thing that comes with time. That's an understanding in itself. How to properly lead men. There's a proper way to leading men. There's a proper way of exerting your spiritual stature in humility, but also being lowly, being ready to serve. All right, minister unto. So there's a skill to knowing how to balance the two. All right. Verse 4. And when the chief shepherd shall appear, ye shall receive. And who's the chief shepherd? That's the Yahushua. Yahushua is the ultimate shepherd. He's the first shepherd. We're all shepherds underneath him. All right. But nevertheless, he's the chief shepherd, and we're all striving to be one of his shepherds. All right. That 144,000 shepherds. All right. Ye shall receive a crown of glory that fadeth not away. All right. Because you waxed old in your works to become a shepherd of the Lord. He trusted you with his sheep. That takes time. Nobody just says, hey, you could be a shepherd. Yeah, I think I could shepherd. All right, here's 3,000 shepherds, or here's 3,000 sheep for you to shepherd. No, you be like, all right, let's just say you own you're a realtor and you got hella contracts and you want to try a guy out. So you don't give the guy the first go round the best, the most profitable, the most lucrative. Here's 10 jobs. Get them done by the month. No, you be like, all right, you say you can handle it. All right, well, here's one. Let me see what you do with that. He might shine. Be like, okay, this guy ain't bullshit. All right, I got 3 jobs. You think you can handle that? I got one over here, one over there. You got 3 crews to do that? You're like, yeah, I got it. He see that you rock that. Oh, he love you. Now you gonna be a priority work of his. But it takes time proving yourself. All right, and I must read verse 5. And it says, likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves to the elder. Yea, all of you being subject to one another and being clothed with humility. See, when you want to just shoot to the top, you're not trying to be subject to one another because you're not clothed with humility. You're moving very deceitfully, Reading on, for the Most High resisteth the proud. And those men, they're like engines with no oil in it. They burn hot. They floor it. The RPM be in the 8 and 10 range. But then they burn out. All of them. Every last one of them that come in this spirit, like the Apostle Ramlab said. We've seen you come and we've seen you go. And I can only imagine from their extent, they've seen 20 years of it coming and going. All right? And it says, and the Most High resisted the proud and give grace to the humble. Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of the Most High, that he may exalt you in your due time. And I'm going to close up there. The Most High does the exalting, not you. It's not of yourself. All right? So take this one step at a time. Take it in stride. All right? Walk your walk. All right? But push yourself nevertheless. So with that, I'm going to close up and give all the glory and honor to Yahweh, Hashem Yahweh Shai, Hashem Ruach HaKodesh. And until next time, Shalom.